Hello and welcome to Japanese Wrestling with the Maritime Warrior. Today I take a look at one of the most innovative wrestling promotions in the history of Japanese pro wrestling, the International Wrestling Enterprise, IWE. IWE was founded in October of 1966 by Isao Yoshihara. Along with Tokyo Pro Wrestling, who got their start in 1966 as well, they would both become competition for the JWA. IWE would also have a working relationship with the American Wrestling Association, AWA. Hiro Matsuda, who helped train Hulk Hogan, would be the booker and the company's first ace. In January of 1967, IWE and Tokyo Pro Wrestling would join together for a tour called Pioneer Series. In 1967, IWE would also see the first champion crown as Lou Thesz would win the TWWA Heavyweight Championship. This would be their top title until 1968. Other wrestlers to hold this title include Danny Hodge and Roy Heffernan. IWE would also have TWWA tag team titles at this time. In 1967, Tokyo Pro Wrestling would close its doors, and some of the roster members would make its way to IWE. The biggest star to join IWE from Tokyo Pro would be Toyonobori. Toyonobori had been Ricky Dozan's tag team partner in the JWA. On December 19, 1968, a new title would be introduced to the IWE. This was the IWA World Heavyweight title. And the first champion would be Billy Robinson. But the IWE were looking for their first Japanese ace. Who would that Japanese ace be? Thunder Sugiyama. Sugiyama would win the IWA World Heavyweight Championship on May 19, 1970. In 289 days, he defended the title versus all the foreign villains, like Dr. Death. Not to be confused with Dr. Death Steve Williams, he had not even debuted yet. Sugiyama defended versus Edouard Carpentier, Blue Demon, Larry the Axe Hennig, Ivan Breston, and Mad Dog Vachon. In 1971, IWE were looking for a new ace. That new ace would be Strong Kobayashi. Kobayashi would be crowned the new IWA World Heavyweight Champion on June 19, 1971, after beating champion Bill Miller. Strong Kobayashi would hold the title for 874 days and would defend the title versus such stars as Red Bastien, Baron Von Raschke, Dan Miller, Curtis Ayakea, Billy Robinson, The Crusher, Mad Dog Vachon, Edouard Carpentier, Ivan Koloff, and Dusty Rhodes. IWE would also have IWA World Tag Team titles and an IWA World Mid-Heavyweight title. Strong Kobayashi would lose the IWA title to Wahoo McDaniels. 21 days later, he would win the title back, but just after 75 days, he would vacate the title. He would then leave the IWE and join the new promotion, New Japan Pro Wrestling. The vacant IWA World Heavyweight title would be won by Billy Robinson, but he would quickly lose that title to Superstar Billy Graham. Superstar Billy Graham would also have a short reign when he would lose the title to Mighty Inoue. Mighty Inoue would be champion for 185 days. Mighty Inoue would have a match with Vern Gagne with both the IWA and AWA world titles on the line, but the match would end in a double knockout. Mighty Inoue's IWA World Heavyweight title run would come to an end at the hands of Mad Dog Vachon, but 9 days after Vachon won the title, the new ace would take the championship belt for himself. This would be Rusher Kimura. Kimura's first title reign lasted almost a full year. He would defend the title versus Tor Kamata, Mighty Inoue, Big John Quinn, Gypsy Joe, Pierre Martin, and The Undertaker. This was not Mark Calloway, but Hans Schroeder with a different gimmick. The IWA title would be vacated and won back by Rusher Kimura. Kimura would only hold the title for 50 days this time, losing the title to former JWA wrestler Umanosuke Ueda. He would hold the title for 47 days. The title would be vacated once again, and the vacant belt would be won by, you guessed it, Rusher Kimura. By this point in time, Rusher Kimura is the established ace of IWE. This third IWA World Heavyweight title reign would last 1,085 days, which is the record for the longest IWA World Heavyweight title reign in IWE history. From this title reign to IWE's close in 1981, Rusher Kimura was champion for all but 7 days. This IWA World Heavyweight title run that lasted 1,085 days started in 1976. IWE was a company that was not afraid to use gimmick matches like steel cage matches and chain matches. The matches were very bloody, and this was very different compared to the JWA and later on New Japan and All Japan. Some of the other wrestlers that competed in IWE would include the Great Kusatsu, Animal Hamaguchi, Ashura Hara, Isamu Teranishi, Goro Surumi, Hiromichi Fuyuki, Ryuma Go, KY Wakamatsu, Match Hayato, Kintaro Oki, Kim Duck, Mr. Hito, Masa Saito, and Mr. Seki. The IWE would officially fold on September 30th, 1981. Some of the wrestlers would go to New Japan Pro Wrestling, the likes of Rusher Kimura, Animal Hamaguchi, and Isamu Teranishi. These three wrestlers would form a stable in New Japan and would be invaders from IWE. This was the first time a storyline like this was ever done, a full decade plus before the NWO did it in WCW. After a few years in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Rusher Kimura would leave New Japan along with Akira Maeda, Satoru Sayama, and a host of other wrestlers to help form the UWF. Once the UWF folded, Rusher Kimura would join All Japan Pro Wrestling, and he would stay with All Japan Pro Wrestling until the year 2000. He would follow Mitsuharu Misawa to Pro Wrestling Noah, which is the promotion that he would retire in. Rusher Kimura would pass away on May 24th, 2010. Other big stars from IWE like Mighty Inoue would join All Japan Pro Wrestling when IWE closed. He would win the All Asia Tag Team titles, the NWA International Junior Heavyweight title, and the All Japan World Junior Heavyweight title. Inoue would also leave All Japan Pro Wrestling with Mitsuharu Misawa in the year 2000. Inoue would pass away on November 27, 2024. Strong Kobayashi would wrestle on and off until 1992. He would become a TV star in the 80s. He would appear as a villain in a Super Sentai series. He would also be on Takeshi's Castle along with Umanosuke Ueda. Strong Kobayashi would pass away on December 31st, 2021. After leaving the IWE, Thunder Sugiyama would join All Japan Pro Wrestling from 1972 to 1976. He would then return to IWE in 1977, but he would leave for New Japan Pro Wrestling in 1978 till 1980. After his run in New Japan, Sugiyama would retire. He would pass away on November 22, 2002. An unofficial successor was started in 1993 by Goro Surumi. This was called IWA Kokuto Shijuku and IWA Kokusai. This was a very small independent promotion that lasted from 1993 to 2013. Now, the reason this is considered a successor to the IWE, Goro Surumi would use the same IWA World Heavyweight title belt that was held by Rusher Kimura and Mighty Inoue. When IWA Kokusai closed its doors in 2013, Goro Surumi would retire. Goro Surumi would pass away on August 26, 2022. The IWE was a revolutionary promotion in professional wrestling. They did matches that were not seen in Japan. Without IWE, there's no FMW, Big Japan and no unique promotions in Japan. And with that, that'll be the end of this episode. I want to thank you all for listening, and I'll see you next week.